All right, hey there everybody. Welcome to my garage. That's where all the fun happens out here. I'm Melanie with Lost and Found, and I'm going to be painting a piece of furniture today, working on this big oak armoire that I've shared with you guys a few times. So I paint furniture. I have 2 antique booth places where I sell furniture, and I also retail Fusion mineral paint and Miss Mustard Seeds milk paint. And today I want to walk through a technique with you guys that's a little bit new to me, and it's kind of taking over the furniture painting world, but I'm trying to make up my mind what I think about it. But it's a technique called color blending, and we're going to have some fun. It's going to be a little bit of a longer live, so pop in and out as you can. I would love for you to share it with your friends as you're watching, and that'll help it go to more folks. And I'm going to be giving away 1 jar of Fusion while we're going through the live. So yeah, just waiting for a few people to jump in. I am outside the Dallas, Texas area. I'm sorry for the kind of crummy lighting today. I was going to open up my garage and get better light, but it's cold. It's really cold. So, and I know it's only like 40, and for some of you guys that's not cold, but for me here in Texas, 40 is cold. So we're going to keep the garage door pulled down. I've got the lights on. Hi Christina, thanks for joining in. Yes, please say hi. Let me know that you're watching. I would love to hear where you're watching from. And again, keep posted, and here in a few minutes you'll see how you can win your pint of paint. So, okay, I showed you guys this gigantic armoire that I've got a week or so ago, and I've been trying to figure out what to do with it, and what I really want to do with it is give it some age. I want it to have just some depth to the finish. I want it to look unique. I don't want the color to just be flat. Usually when I want to do that, I use milk paint, because it's really easy to give a piece depth and patina if you're using milk paint. But this piece is gigantic, and if I use milk paint, then I have to wax and seal the whole piece, which I just really don't want to do because it's so big. So I decided to use Fusion, because with Fusion you don't have to put any top coat on it. It's fine just as it is. It seals it as itself, so it's going to save me that big step of having to finish the piece at the end. So hi Michelle, thanks for joining in, guys. Hi Karen. So now with Fusion, it's just a little bit harder to get that real depth of age and that depth of color. You have to work a little bit harder at it. So that's why I'm trying this technique today called color blending. And so if you have seen online or on Facebook any of those pieces of furniture that are just got that real funky bohemian, colors dripping down, that's kind of that technique I'm talking about. And I've been trying to figure out what I think about it, how I feel about it, because I'm not really bohemian, I'm not super artsy, and I just wasn't really sure what I thought about it. But I appreciate the technique, I appreciate the style. I don't know that it's me, but I think that you can use that technique to make some really, really awesome finish on your piece. So you guys hang with me. I'm going to flip the camera around really quick. I want to show you. Okay, here's what this one side looks like so far. I've finished this side. Well, it's not, this is just the paint. I'm going to go back with some glaze, but this is kind of the look we're going to be creating. And I've used 3 colors to do this. Okay. And you guys are going to guess the 3 colors that I'm using here in a minute. That's going to be part of our giveaway. So, but that's the look that I'm going to be recreating over on the other side. So, I'll get you switched back around. Okay, bear with me. I'm going to go put you on a tripod over here so I can start working. I'm going to get you on. All right, so here's our side that I'm going to be working on right here today. Okay, hold on, one other thing I forgot. I got to unclip. Water. Okay. It's not the easiest thing, to be honest. It's not hard. It's what I call messy painting, and in some ways messy painting is easier than just trying to get your piece nice and sleek and smooth, but it does take a little bit of finesse, and I'm intrigued with it. I'm having fun with it, and that's what this is all about, right? Just playing and having fun and trying something new. Hi, Julie. So glad you're here. Julie from California is here with us today. So, okay, here's what you need. I'm going to be using 2 different brushes. I've got just this flat chip brush and a thicker round brush. I've got my 3 colors of paint. 1, 2, there's one more down there. And then you need a spray bottle with water. And I've got some paper towels and a rag over here too. And so the theory with this, what I'm trying to do with these colors is I'm trying to create the look of some shadow and some age kind of inside these insets. So I'm going to start with my darkest color, and then I'm going to layer on 2 lighter colors. So 3 blues is what we're going to be working with. Okay, and here's how, if you want to win a pint of paint, here's how we're going to do that. I've got 3 fusion blues right here with me. I've got them turned around so you can see. This is the dark one, number 1, and this is number 2. And then here's the lightest one, and I know that this looks kind of just like white, but it's not white. It's a very light blue. It's the very lightest blue in the line. So the first person in the comments to get these 3 colors right, to let me know what these colors are. And if you're a fusion merchant, please don't comment, because you know what they are and you don't need free paint from me. So this is for somebody who's not a fusion merchant. But if you can guess correctly what these 3 colors are that I'm using, this dark blue, this medium blue, and this very, very light blue. I know it looks white. It's not. It's very, very light. And someone from Carrollton. Hi, Michelle. You're not too far. So take a guess. And the first person that gets all 3 of these colors in the comment section will win. You can pick one of these colors to get for free. I'll send one to you. Okay? So we're going to start. I'm going to start with my darkest color here. I'm not going to tell you what it is. It's the darkest blue that I have. And you can cheat if you need to. No, close. It's not, she says, Homestead Blue, Little Well, and Champness. One is right, but not all of them. And my husband is inside watching for me because I'm not going to be able to see all the comments. So he'll help me make sure that I get whoever is first, okay? So I'm going to get this first dark color. Sorry, I know when I've been down I'm out of the shot, but just bear with me. And I'm just going to dab a little bit onto the tip of my brush. And I'm going to start working, and to prep this piece, like I've already prepped it. I cleaned it with Simple Green, wiped it down with the wet cloth, and I just ran, I think I had some 150 sandpaper that I just ran over it really quickly. So, okay, you guys keep guessing the colors. I don't know that anybody's got them yet. So this first blue, someone guessed Homestead Blue. It's not Homestead Blue. That's close. No, very close. Very close. So everybody's got one. They've got one of all of them, but not quite all of them. So we're going to start with this darkest one here. And I'm just going to start brushing it on. And I'm going to pay attention really to kind of getting it in the cracks, down in the corners and in the recesses. Because again, I want shadow. I want this dark blue to kind of be like a shadow. And then I'm just going to put some on. You guys are thinking, that looks like a hot mess. And it does. This process, this technique, it looks really bad before it starts looking good. So I'm going to get a little bit more. Any guesses yet? Any guesses on this one? No, close. It's not. I'll tell you guys, you got the lightest blue is correct. Somebody has gotten that correct. The very lightest blue is Little Whale. So someone got that one. We need to have, we're looking for this one and this one, this middle. Sorry, I'm trying to get this middle kind of blue color. Okay. First person to guess all 3 wins a pint. All right, so just going with this blue kind of haphazardly, almost a dry brush. This is a fun technique. It really doesn't use a lot of paint. It doesn't use a lot of paint, and so that's a great thing to do if you don't have a lot of paint on hand, and it dries pretty quickly. And Julie guessed Homestead. No, it's not Homestead. It's very, very similar to Homestead, but it's not Homestead Blue. But it's close. Fill that in a little bit. And I'm not taking the hardware and the door off of this. Usually I do. This swings open. This is the door. This is the hinge right here. But sometimes when a piece is really old, I will leave the hardware on because I've learned that if I take the hinges and the hardware off, they almost never, ever, ever go back to the right spot again. So because I'm going with kind of a funky aged look, if I get some paint on these hinges, it's okay. It's not going to be a problem. So, okay, no, it's not Renfrew and it's not Champness. Okay, Seaside. This one is Seaside. So let's see if someone can get all three of them together in one comment. This one, this one, this is the middle color, and the lightest color. Okay, all right, so we're going to set this one down. With my same brush, I'm going to go back and I'm going to get my middle blue. And I'm just going to dump a tad bit of it, trying not to show you guys. Seaside Little Teapot. No, so close. You guys are so close. Julie, I think Julie just got it. I think she was the first one. Seaside, Little Whale, and Heirloom. I believe those are the correct ones. So Julie just got it. Okay, Miss Julie Cooksey got it. You guys were so close. Everybody was so close, kind of all around it. So Julie, you can pick one of these colors. Just send me a message. Pick one, and I'll send one your way. So thanks. That was fun, guys. Okay, so here's the middle blue. I'm using the same brush. I know. Laura, you were so close. You almost had it. You kept trying. Hi, Sarah. Thanks for joining in from across the pond, my friend Sarah. Okay, so here's the Heirloom, and I'm just going to go back with the Heirloom and add it in. I know this looks crazy, so just bear with me. And some people have said, have thought that maybe you couldn't do this technique with Fusion, that maybe you had to use a chalk paint, but it's worked fine for me so far with the Fusion. I've been happy with it. I'm just going to kind of do this top panel here for you guys to see. So, hi Stephanie, thanks for joining in. Okay, again, I just used a tiny little bit of my Heirloom, my middle color. It's all just about kind of layering those in. All right, now I'm going to set this brush down. I'm going to wipe my bowl out, trying not to mix my colors too much, and I'm going to go get my lightest blue, the Little Whale. Get this thing open. You guys, your jars sometimes get stuck. Ugh. Okay. Got it. Little Whale is a beautiful color. It's beautiful. It's from the Tones for Tots collection, but it's not just for tots. It's a really pretty color. I painted a piece in it before, a whole piece. And this is the color we're going to wind up using the most of. So I'm just dumping some in my bucket, but it's got all the other colors in there too, so it's all just kind of mixing together. Okay, and then I'm going to get my fatter brush. So, okay, Stephanie asked the first color. So the very first color we used was our darkest blue, and it was Seaside. And I just brushed it on, making sure to kind of get it in the corners, because the goal, what we're going for, is shading. We want it to look, we want to have the dark kind of in the corners and then get lighter in the middle, because that's going to help create the look of shading and of age. So it was Seaside, and then it was Heirloom, which is kind of a middle blue on top of it, and now we're going with Little Whale, which is our lightest blue. And I thought about just painting the whole piece in this color, but then I decided, what the heck, let's try something else. So I'm going to go and use my fatter brush, just because this is the color is going to wind up being the most. And I'm going to grab my spray bottle of water. And I'm just going to start pretty liberally here. Going over with the Little Whale. And then in here, I'm going to get some mostly kind of in the middle. And the other two colors underneath this are not really dry yet, but that's okay. I need a little bit more out of here. Okay, so now that we've got that on there, we're going to let this dry for just a minute, just a second. Give it a couple seconds to dry. And then I'm going to hit it with some water. So I'd love to know, has anybody tried this kind of technique? Has anybody painted around with color blending or anything like that? I've done a lot of dry brushing and I've layered some metallics, and that's been really fun. But this is kind of new to me, so I'd love to hear if anybody. Christina says it's easier than I thought. So we haven't gotten quite to the blending. Laurie has done it some. Laurie would love for you to post some pieces that you have done with some of your color blending. Christina, it kind of scares me a little bit too. But you know, here's the good thing. If it looks terrible, I can just come and paint over it, right? If it looks horrible, I can just come back and paint over it and it all goes away. So Heidi says everything she do is done in blending. That's awesome. That's great. Again, I'm a little slow to the game, and that's just because I'm not very funky, y'all. I need to be more funky, but I'm kind of boring. So, but I'm trying. I'm trying to kind of get a little funkier. So, okay, we've let this sit on here for just a minute, and here's what I'm going to go do. I'm just going to hit it with some water. And this is where you start really blending those colors in. And again, I'm trying to keep the lighter colors in the middle and my darker on the outside. But when you wet that paint down, it just kind of re-liquefies all of it. Let's shoot a little bit more up here. Just blend and blend. Now I've lost a little bit of this dark blue that I wanted here in the corners. Oh, thanks, Gail. She says I'm not boring. I appreciate that. Boring maybe wasn't the best word, but classic maybe. Classic. So I'm going to come back in here a little bit in the corners and just wipe some, because I wanted a little bit more of that dark blue to come through. I found that just playing with it, you just kind of have to keep playing with it, keep messing with it. Classy. Thank you, Sarah. Classy. I appreciate that. Classy. Do you work in sections? Yeah, so for this video I'm working in sections because the camera only shows so much, but when I did the other side on this, I did kind of still work in sections, because you want to work while the paint, before it starts to dry too much. So yeah, when I've done it, I've kind of worked in sections. Okay. All right. Not too bad, right? Not too bad. Now, I'm going to go back with my Seaside, because I want a little bit more of that dark kind of on the edges. I'm going to almost kind of dry brush a little bit more back in. So I'm just going to dab some back on this little chip brush and then dab off my excess. Try and put some more. Put some more of that darker blue, shading it there. I hope you guys can see on the video that it's just, yes, more seaside. And it just is that shading look. Have you guys ever done one of those like go paint your own like oil painting class, you know, where you go and they give you a glass of wine and they do your oil painting and you kind of do it along with them? I've done one. People think I'm artistic because I paint furniture, but y'all, I am not artistic. But I went to one of those. My husband and I did for our anniversary, and we kind of had a competition to see whose picture turned out better, and I think his picture turned out a lot better than mine. I'm not, and I can't draw. So the whole kind of concept of shading and all of that is a little difficult for me. But with this, you just want to blend in and have that darker be kind of on your underneath sections. So I've just gone back and added some in the corners and a little bit more along in here. And it's still, the paint's still pretty wet. It still has some movement into it, so you just kind of keep feathering it in. Might give it another little squirt of water just right here, just to kind of help feather those colors in. If you're the kind of person that you don't like brush strokes, then this technique is probably not for you because you're definitely going to see some brush strokes in it. Let's see. I missed your name, but I see she says, I'm creative, not artistic. I'm a technical painter and not an artist. I agree. I understand that. So I tell people that I see the difference between being creative and being artistic is the difference between drawing something freehand or coloring in a coloring book. And so I cannot draw for the life of me. Like my kids ask me to draw like an elephant, it looks like a cat. That's just how it goes. But if you give me a coloring book, then I can color inside those lines and make it beautiful. So that's why I think I can paint furniture, because it's just basically a big coloring book, right? And you're adding colors into it. Building something from scratch or creating something out of the blue, like my head does not go that way. But I can color inside the lines. So I'm glad you understand that. So, and yes, so this is stick man drawer. Yes, stick people are your friends, okay? So that's the basic of it, and that didn't take very long. That was really pretty quick. And I'm just going to kind of keep moving down. And then on the other side, I can't do it now because it's not dry, but on the other side, I went back with a little bit of chocolate of the dark brown fusion on my brush, and I dry brushed a little bit of that in the corners just to give it a little bit more age. And then I'm going to go back with the antiquing glaze over the whole thing to really, it's a little bit bright for me, just to really tone it down. I'm going to come back with the antiquing glaze and go over the whole thing just to tone it down a little bit. Again, give it a little bit more age. That's what we're going for here. I'm not going for that kind of funky bohemian look. I'm going more for an aged finish, something that looks like it's been sitting in an old French apartment for a long time. And then if that's not enough, then I'm going to probably dab a little bit of espresso wax on too. So that's kind of my plan once the painting is done. But really the painting portion goes pretty quickly with this technique. So I'm going to keep working on it. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Thanks for hopping in today. And yeah, I'm glad to kind of try this out with Fusion. And Again, I love that I don't have to put anything on top of this, that it seals itself, that it's durable, it's perfectly fine to use. And I'm not a master at this technique, but I'm playing around with it. And so I hope that it encouraged you to maybe play around, try something new. Get it out of your comfort zone a little bit. And thanks for Julie for watching. She won our free pint of paint. And Julie, don't forget to message me and let me know which color you picked. And so our 3 colors again were Seaside, Heirloom, and Little Whale, all beautiful, beautiful blues. So yes, when I'm all finished, I'll post you guys a picture, although I don't know how I'm gonna get this thing in my house. It may have to be an unstaged photo, I don't know. So y'all are awesome. Thank you for showing up today. I really appreciate it. Everybody have a fantastic rest of your day. I'm gonna keep working on this and then go inside and drink some coffee. So y'all are fantastic. I'll see you again soon, okay? Bye-bye.